welcome to the Drive Home Podcast. Podcast where I'm the only one who needs to buckle up. Today, I got out around 5 o'clock. And then I did some shopping. And now, it is about half an hour after I got out. So, that's my day so far. First off, my father came up and he took a look at my car, and the bulbs were bad. So, and I guess they went bad at the exact same time, because I guess that can happen. So we got those fixed, and so I've got all my backlights working. In other news, one of the only so as I got out of work, it's becoming summer. It's getting hot out. So, just and it was not raining today. At least not where I am. And underneath my car, which when I first got inside of my car was extremely hot, underneath my car there was a puddle forming. So there's something slowly leaking out of the front of my car. So, still got a problem. But for the most part, my car seems fine. I'm fairly certain the beeping stopped, though I've had to start the car prematurely before I start a couple of these before I do these recently, just to get the cold air flowing. So I don't have to keep it cranked up and then everything else goes quiet. All in all, today was a pretty good day. I worked for almost 8 hours. So besides the fact that I had to be at work early, it wasn't too bad. And then, if I remember correctly, well, I don't have any plans tonight, but so I stopped by Walmart. That's where I stopped by to get some stuff, because I have 2 days off in a row now. And to that end, I was securing stuff for this proverbial weekend. Okay, sure. Somebody's speeding to get in front of me. It's whatever. Oh wait, they weren't speeding to get in front of me. They were just speeding to speed. I get it now. So, anyway, when I was at Walmart, I was checking out the Nintendo Switch games, because to be honest, like, there aren't a whole lot of, like, Xbox games that I'm exactly looking for, and I don't own a PlayStation. And so I was looking at the Switch games, because is that kind of weird? Like, I don't know, I feel like digitally purchasing Xbox games makes a lot more sense. I mean, digitally purchasing games is sort of weird right now because of the whole, I think it was Ubisoft's, like, CEO or somebody. I don't know. I think they fired the guy for sure, but they must have. But he said something ludicrous, like, people who buy the digital copies shouldn't actually own the games. We should start charging people monthly for the game that they bought, or some crap that was ridiculous. And this is relatively old news, but it just got me, like, thinking, like, yeah, no, I mean, if companies really wanted to, if they all started doing it, you know, either one, everyone would just get Nintendo, because Nintendo never is, like, on the same page as everyone else. They always do their own thing for the most part. And only when they really feel like they have to do they actually upgrade to what everyone else is doing. Like, I don't actually know if PlayStation's doing it, because I don't have a PlayStation. I haven't talked to my brother about it. But, so Microsoft has they kind of do. I don't even know anymore what they have. But a couple of years ago, they had Xbox Live Gold, which was essentially you pay a certain amount of money per month, or per 3 months, or per year, or whatever, and you can play games online, have parties, etc., etc. It was like the online stuff. And Nintendo was like, you guys want to play games online with friends? As long as the games have online multiplayer, sure. Do whatever. And only until the Switch came out did that change. Because the Switch has that, but it's, unless if they chalked up the price, it's like $20 per year, which compared to the Xbox is like $60 a year. It is way cheaper. I'm just saying. And then just like overall with like Nintendo chooses to, and I think I was listening to a Game Explain video. If any, I can't exactly remember when I started watching them, and I don't watch them too often. It was I think it was mostly for like tutorials and stuff, because I think they did a lot of tutorials back in the Wii U days or something. But I'm fairly certain that they came out with a video recently that like Nintendo was right or something, because it's a short video, but the long and the short of it was essentially that like Nintendo focusing on like the enjoyability of the game versus like the hardware of the game or whatever, what do the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 have? Not counting PlayStation's exclusives, they have good graphics. That's it. And then, and you could say like, the Switch doesn't have good graphics necessarily. They have crap for internals. Let's get that out the window. The stuff in the Switch is way older than the Switch, but the stuff you can do with the Switch is a lot more varying, and they do that with like every single one of their consoles for a while. Like the GameCube was made to be like carried around, I guess. I think at least the one my brother has came with a attached handle that doesn't look like you can take it off. I don't know. And then with the Wii and stuff, it's all about the Wii, and the Wii U is like all about the motion controls and like the you aim at the infrared bar and all that stuff. And then it's optional how your controller scheme is, because you can choose to have a nunchuck or not. I think the only thing to make that better was if the nunchuck also had a D-pad, and then if the D-pad on the Wii remote was like a nunchuck stick. That would have been funny. Though honestly, I like the way they are, so I wouldn't change them. Even if I could go back in time and be like, hey Nintendo, just basically copy what they're doing. Nah, that's stupid. And besides, they wouldn't listen. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that Nintendo's favorability of making the games themselves good and not the advertisement for the games. So Nintendo's focus on making the games themselves fun and entertaining versus Microsoft and I think, is it Sony that makes PlayStation? I don't know, the PlayStation company. That choose to be like, we have the best graphics. Play this game that may or may not be fun. We have the best graphics. It'll look good. You might not like it, probably won't like it, but it'll look really nice. And there are games that are good on those consoles that aren't on the Switch, but I think, and like I think I would say I'm a Nintendo person. I grew up with Nintendo. My mother had a Nintendo Entertainment System when she was a kid, and then she didn't have one. And then my aunt on my dad's side, she has a Nintendo, and she had a Wii too. Well, a Wii. Not she. I don't think she got a Wii U. But so she has her Nintendo Entertainment System and stuff. And actually, she had Duck Hunt too, which was interesting. But her Duck Hunt gun wasn't working, or was broken. Which at the time we were like, nah, well, can't play that game. But you know, it's epic. It's awesome. It's cool. Now that we know and stuff, and so you know, we're basically a kind of like a second generation Nintendo family to a certain extent, which is I think it's cool. So you know, in the long run, we're big Nintendo people, because our first me and my brother's first console was a Wii, and then we got DSIs, I think, the ones with the Game Boy plugins that you could use and stuff. And then when they came out, we got 3DSs, and we got 3DS XLs whenever we got the need for an upgrade, because I'm not gonna lie, between me and my brother, we went through quite a few 3DSs. And we got the Wii U when that came out. We're one of the few people, and I mentioned that before, but we're one of the few people that actually has a Wii U still. The only thing I don't understand so if you guys know, or like have like an Xbox One or whatever, you'll know that, and this is, I don't know if the 360 has one, but I know the Xbox Ones have them. So they have a second HDMI port that lets you essentially emulate something else that's plugged into that HDMI port. So you don't need to use another port on your TV, I guess. Or if you don't have another port, plug in your Xbox and then play it through your Xbox. But if you play your Wii U through your Xbox and you try and play Wii games, unless there's a problem with my Wii specifically, or my Wii U, I should say, because if you try and play Wii games on the Wii U while you're basically, I don't want to say emulating, because Nintendo doesn't like that. I am projecting it through the Xbox. Projecting it. That's actually probably more correct of a term. So I'm projecting, through the Wii U's emulation of a Wii, I am trying to play a Wii game through the Wii U that's being projected through an Xbox One to like a TV or a monitor. I have a monitor that I use because it's in my room and I can't really have a super big TV. But long story short, it gets all green, which is weird. Like the Wii menu, all green. And it's fine on the Wii, or the Wii U part. It's fine on the Wii U part, but the Wii menu and all the, and loading into, and in the games, it's all like, it's got a really lightish green tint to it, which really sucks. So we can't play I can't play Wii games through that. And the Wiis that we got, so we got two Wiis. It was around the time my parents got divorced. My mother and father each got one for me and my brother to share at each of the houses, as they were new at the time, and it was something interesting we could do. And so we ended up, at some point after they sort of became obsolete, whenever we would try to play a game, like, they won't read discs anymore. And that's fine, I guess, because we have a GameCube now, so we don't really need the Wii's. But it would be cool if we could use them. Well, actually, we can still use them. I don't know why, but the one that... I guess my mother must have done something or added stuff to it. Because... there was Super Mario 3. There was... I forget which one it was. But there was like a really weird like Sonic game. And I think me and my brother always like lost on the second world because there was this weird mini boss. I don't know. The world itself was sort of yellowy, and there was like a crab thing, and a cannonball would bounce at you from behind, and you would have to dodge the cannonball, and it would land in the crab thing's mouth. And the crab thing wouldn't move, but your screen was stopped where it was. I don't know. And for some reason, me and my brother just like sucked at that really bad because we were really young when we played it. And I think there were some other games that were downloaded onto it too, but I haven't turned that on in a while, and I don't think we ever transferred the data to the Wii U, so you know, that's not... We should have, or should, if we still can. But okay, I digress, because my main point that I was trying to get to this entire time... Oh boy, this will just be I'm a Nintendo... this is just going to be like the Nintendo fan... I am in a Nintendo family episode. Just that Nintendo knows that I'm not saying anything weird. I'm not associated with Nintendo. I wish I was. They're super cool. I mean, to be fair, don't get me wrong, they're a bit stingy when it comes to like certain things, or well, their lawyers are, I guess. Like their IP is very. You don't want to mess with them, basically. And you know, they do shut down a lot of tournaments and stuff, which sucks. But I think all in all, they're a really good company because, well, I wouldn't say they're great, but they're better than other companies for the most part. Because you know, for one, they basically make guaranteed at least good games, right? Like maybe it's not like perfect, but like they use their formulaic strategies to like win, and then when they come out with something that's not exactly part of the formula, it's always great, pretty much. I mean, when it's part of like their main core like IP, like Mario, Zelda, Metroid, I don't want to say Pokemon because that's not made by Nintendo. I think it's just a license. Is it licensed by them? I think it must be, because I don't know. Long story short, I bought Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope or whatever, which is a tactical... I forget if it's real-time or not, 'cause I don't really remember the actual definition of real-time tactical RPG or whatever. But it's sort of like Fire Emblem, except with Mario and Rabbids and guns. And it's like the second iteration of this that I know of. There was the first one, and I didn't play a lot of that, but my brother owns the cartridge for that, so I can always borrow it from him. And I was thinking about getting it, and I had checked, and I found out that it was actually $20 at Walmart. So I bought it, and I was like, yes, because now I think the season pass is like $30, so that's $50 for basically, I think the gold edition or whatever they call it, that has like all the DLC and the game, is like $90. So I just saved like $40. That's a steal in my book. I think that's generally a steal, because that's the one good thing about getting, that's one of the few good things about getting physical copies of games, is that depending on how old the game is or what franchise it's from, it will be cheaper, even if it's like a new copy. Or if it's a game that, you know, a lot of people say sucks. Like, I strolled through the Xbox section, and they had Gotham Knights, and it was $10. I'm not gonna lie, I never really watched too many of the ads for that game, but I played it because it was free or something, or there was a massive discount on it on the Xbox at some point, and I bought it. And I'm not like a huge DC nerd, but I like DC more than Marvel, and I pretty much always have. I just like Batman more, okay? That was mainly the reason. And then I started watching the CW shows, which they all start out really good, I think. I mainly watched the Green Arrow I guess it's the Arrow, and then the Flash, and then DC's Legends of Tomorrow. Those are the only ones I really completed, I think. I watched like halfway through, or I say halfway, and I watched like 2 seasons of Supergirl, and then I was caught up, I think, or I just kind of got bored, because all of those are like, each episode is like 40-50 minutes, and I can only watch so many of those. And I don't know, the Flash and the Arrow were more interesting shows, I guess. I was really interested in the Flash, but then I realized that the Arrow was the starting point of the Flash, because there was the crossover episode, and I was like, oh, I have to go back. And that's how I don't know. I guess I watched a little bit of Batwoman too, though I don't know. I think I finished season 2 or got halfway through. All I remember is that the original one was thought to be dead, and then no, she's alive. Oh no, wait, no, she's dead. That sucks. But oh, big surprise, she's actually not dead, but her death was greatly exaggerated, probably, and she's tied up or something somewhere. I don't know. There's a lot of story with that, and I don't understand a lot of it. And I never watched season 3 or anything, or kept up with it. Oh, and I watched Black Lightning. Black Lightning was really good. I don't read the comics for any of that, but I like, I don't know. I thought it was good. So that'll be it. See you all in the next episode. Bye.